here, of course, it provided jobs. And it provides some place for the people to go. Because until they came here, there was the time that the manufacturing ended and the time the mass mocha began, there was really nothing. There was nothing. Mass mocha is, well, like the savior of the community. It's really, really nice to work here. I enjoy it.
This place has always been manufacturing something, whether it was cloth making, whether it was capacitors. Now we just manufacture art. And, you know, it's a much smaller scale. We certainly don't have the kind of staff that Sprague Electric used to have, but I think we have a similar impact in the fact that we're bringing people to this area, we're making people interested in what we're doing here, and we're making art again, and that's really exciting.
It's really fun to be able to give students a sort of alternative future that if you're not going to be a doctor and you're not going to be a lawyer, you actually can be an artist, and here is this space in your backyard where people are doing that every day.
We were living outside of Boston, and the only thing we knew about the community was mass mocha. And so we drove out here on a blustery November day, and we toured the museum, and we thought, if a town can support a place like this, we can live here.
We strive to get the community involved, not only in just coming to the place, but in a lot of the residency shows that we do here. The community members are in them. You know, they're active participants.
You know, if you think about it, for 120, 130 years, 4,000 or 5,000 people were in this building every single day, working all the time. And people leave a trace. You can feel it in the slight warp and wave feeling of the floor itself. And I don't know, I think there's something fundamentally human and humane about the buildings that radiate into the art.
What makes the distillery a really special, incredible place is that there is nowhere else like the distillery in the entire world. The distillery has no franchises, no national brands down here. So when you come down to the distillery, you get really, really unique experiences. When you come to our sake brewery and taste our sake, there's nowhere else like it in the world. If you come to our microbrewery and taste our fresh beer, there's nothing else like that in the city. If you come to the chocolate microfactory, again, a really, really unique experience, and the product that they create is the best. You'll see things like cafes that you would see in small towns with the proprietors serving you coffee. On the other end of the spectrum, we'll have the best theatre company and the best theatre on site in Canada. If you want to consume Toronto culture, this is an amazing place to do it. And if you want to participate in Toronto's culture from a resident's point of view, what better place to do it than the distillery? There's always things going on. Art shows in the galleries, special exhibits in the retailers. They're happening all throughout the year. But the really big blockbuster events happen on the weekends. Very often you'll see big festivals, things like the Toronto Jazz Festival, Contact Photography Festival, artisan festivals where we have hundreds of artisans lining the streets of the distillery showcasing their art. We have wine festivals down here. We have an incredible Christmas market that simulates the Christmas markets of Europe that have been going on for 800 years. That festival alone gets 100,000 people coming down to the distillery. What's a secret is that we actually have people living down here. And a lot of people liken the distillery and living at the distillery to living in old Europe. When people come down out of their condominiums, leave their lobbies, they enter into almost a wonderland or fantasy land. That's how they describe it, not me. So when we first bought the distillery, people thought that we were out of our minds. When they came down to the distillery, if they would come down to the distillery, we would tell them our vision, and you'd see them slowly backing up because they thought we must be out of our minds. But for every 10 people that thought we were crazy, there was one person always that believed in what we were doing and that wanted to share in that vision and participate in that vision. And together, we all created this really, really wonderful small village in the middle of a big city. You can spend days here learning things that you just never imagined existed, experiencing new things, and it's just a really, really wonderful environment to learn, to be creative, to be inspired, and there's nowhere else like it.